If you haven't seen Infinity War yet, you must be living under a rock. For shame. The movie ended with a bang, well, more like a snap, of Thanos' fingers. In fact, the ending left so many people disheartened that fans came up with a ton of alternate endings to Infinity War. Some of these fan theories are just too good. Before we begin, subscribe to CBR and ring that bell to join the notification squad so you never miss a video. Without further ado, here are some alternate endings to Infinity War. Maybe these endings won't make me cry like a baby. Oh God, Spidey, no!
We'll lose. And we'll do that together too.
Thanos can't snap. While this theory is really more of a joke, we had to put it in here. We all know that because Thanos had every Infinity Stone on his gauntlet, he could get rid of half the population with just a snap of his fingers, which he finally did at the end of the film. But a funny fan alternative ending asked the question, what if Thanos just couldn't snap? Instead, he just fumbles with his fingers while dying from Thor's wound. Just imagine that tense moment in the film just gets totally obliterated by the hilarious fact that Thanos can't snap. I just can't do it. Why doesn't this work? Ugh. Looks like half the population could stay around. But in reality, we know this isn't a viable alternate ending, but still kind of funny to think about.
Just play it cool, otherwise you come off grandiose.
Unlike you?
Hawkeye Arrives. Way before Infinity War was even out, everyone was asking the same questions. Where's Hawkeye, and will he be in the movie? Turns out he wasn't, which threw fans into a fury. Where's Hawkeye? Why wasn't he with the other Avengers? Some were even concerned that with the whole killing half the population thing Thanos was doing, would Hawkeye's family be included in Thanos' casualties? We mean, ever since Age of Ultron, when we first saw Clint Barton's little country hideaway home with his adorable little family and wife all tucked away from harm's way, we knew deep down that something awful was probably gonna happen to that little safe house and maybe even his family. Say it ain't so. But there's an alternate ending that suggests maybe Hawkeye would appear at the last minute and save the day. Some even pondered that Hawkeye would appear with the Soul Stone. We don't know how or why, but that would have been a twist we would have loved to see.
As long as there is life in my breast, I am running out of things to say.
Nova Corps. While this theory was kind of debunked in the movie, we would have been really interested in seeing it all play out. Superhero fans are known for taking small little plots and creating amazing theories behind them, and this one has to be one of our favorites. This theory took a few details from the trailer. During Guardians of the Galaxy, the team managed to get the Power Stone away from Ronan, as he was attempting to portray Thanos and use it for himself. Dance off, you and me, bro. The team gave it to the Nova Corps on Xandar for safekeeping, and they were given a whole new refurbished ship and their criminal records wiped as a thank you. Not too shabby. The Power Stone was locked away, and it seemed like the Nova Corps were ready for a return, since Thanos would have to go to Xandar to get the stone. This theory is all about going back to Xandar to see the Nova Corps fight against Thanos. Honestly, who wouldn't want to see Glenn Close and John C. Reilly kick Thanos' butt? Take that, Josh Brolin. But that didn't happen, sadly. We were given a single line in the Infinity War movie saying that Thanos smashed his way across Xandar to get the Power Stone. But still, the idea of the Nova Corps facing Thanos and protecting the stone is a fun ending to dream about.
Taser face.
Where is the Soul Stone? Now this fan theory rewrote the entire movie's ending and most of Avengers 4. Listen up, Marvel. There were plenty of theories on where the Soul Stone was hiding out. Is it inside of Heimdall since his eyes had an orange tint to them and he could see all across the cosmos? Maybe. Then there was also the theory that it was inside the meteorite of vibranium underneath Wakanda. That could have been cool. Or what about it being inside Tony Stark's brain? A little far-fetched, but hey, why not? Infinity War revealed the Soul Stone's location in the Kree portion of the galaxy, a planet called Vormir. But one theory rewrote this whole part and put forward the idea that the Soul Stone wouldn't even be seen in the film, basically changing the entire ending of Infinity War. It was suggested that by the end of Infinity War, everyone would discover where the Soul Stone was hidden, and the next movie, Avengers 4, would be a race across time to find it before Thanos does and manage to assemble the gauntlet. That's like a whole new storyline at that point. Well, unfortunately for half of the universe and Marvel fans, this was not the case. The Mad Titan did find the stone, poor Gamora, and finished his monumental quest to assemble one of the most powerful artifacts in the galaxy.
I accept your challenge.
Who really died? Get ready for this theory because it turns the whole movie's finale on its head. We were all present for the part in the movie during the infamous dusting, killing off some of our favorite Marvel characters with the famous line, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good," and cueing the entire audience to begin sobbing. But what if we told you those who faded away didn't actually die, and it was the people who stuck around who were the ones who actually died? Mind blown? Confused? Let's break this alternate ending down for you. The theory has Iron Man as the key to save the world. It points to Thanos wishing that the survivors of his purge would remember him. It also hints at Doctor Strange's final words, apologizing to Tony for giving Thanos the stone because, quote-unquote, it was the only way. Out of all the possible outcomes that Doctor Strange saw, maybe the one in which they succeeded, involving Tony living to fight another day to fix everything. Maybe in the process, Tony dies. In the film, Thanos also says something about Tony not being the only one cursed with knowledge. The final key point of this theory is that the movie is all about messing with what is actually reality. Thanos uses the reality stone to play around with the fate of nowhere and change lasers to bubbles. So why not mess with what we, the audience, see and perceive to be real? It's like Inception, but for the Marvel Universe. Maybe even the dead don't really know they're dead yet because of that stone. Of course, it's not too hard to poke a couple holes in this theory. Why did Spider-Man talk about not wanting to go if he didn't die or to go to another dimension? This totally messed up what Avengers 4 will probably end up being about. But it's still interesting to think that all of Infinity War was punking the audience. Alright, Ashton, come out. I know it's you.
Hank, I'm a thief, right? I mean, I'm a good thief, but this is insane.
Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man saved the day. One popular Reddit theorist goes by the username DataGeek9, had his own alternate ending theory that sparked hundreds of comments. So why not take a look at this fun alternative? DataGeek9 doesn't believe Thanos realized exactly how his wish would be fulfilled. Rather than people disappearing into nothing, DataGeek9 thinks Thanos split the universe into two parallel universes through a single massive quantum event. Much like some other theories on this list, Iron Man plays a central role. What up, Downey Jr.? In this ending, one universe is what we saw at the end of the movie. The other is identical but contains all the people who seem to disappear in the first. What those people will see is everyone else disappear. The quest for the Avengers is now to find a way to tunnel from one universe to the other and join them back together. Ant-Man's ability to enter the quantum realm and Tony's tech, possibly including Barf, will be super instrumental to this. And if this doesn't sound cool enough, DataGeek9 is pretty sure Captain Marvel will show up at some point. Where and how Captain Marvel comes into play is beyond us, but maybe she defeats Thanos in the end and prevents him from resplitting the universe. Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, and Iron Man saving the day? Yeah, we'd love to see it. Sign us up.
Tony, I swear to God.
Now for something a little different. While there are tons of theories floating around the internet about alternative endings for Infinity War, we can't help but shed a little light on the hilarious fan favorites on how the movie should have ended. For instance, everything could have been avoided if Doctor Strange created a portal around Thanos' arm, thus chopping it off and rendering that whole snapping and deliberately killing half the population ploy utterly useless. While there are alternate endings suggesting that Ant-Man could actually save the Avengers with his quantum realm deal, this goofy theory is still fun. Ant-Man could have arrived at the last minute, climbed into Thanos' head, and killed him by returning to real human size in Thanos' head. Gross and totally bizarre, but still kind of funny in a gruesome sort of way. In the movie, it's shown that Captain America is the only one who can take a blow from Thanos and still live. So why could he not just sneak up to Thanos, slip that gauntlet off, and run away? A game of being chased by Thanos probably wouldn't end well, would it? Granted, the team almost could have stopped Thanos if Star-Lord didn't overreact by thumping Thanos and ruining the surprisingly effective plan. Come on, Star-Lord! But hey, he just found that the love of his life had been killed. One fan theory is that Tony and Spider-Man could have killed or maybe just slightly injured Star-Lord to stop him from screwing up the scheme. Kinda harsh, right? But hey, sacrifices, folks. Are these theories ridiculous? Absolutely not, but hey, at least they don't end with half the cast dying. In another fan-made video, some theorists came up with funny theories about what could have happened if the Avengers Infinity War was more like a comedy than a hero action flick. Like Gamora convincing Daddy Thanos to walk into a lake of acid lava to secure the Soul Stone, or Doctor Strange using his magic to turn Thanos into a baby, with Tony Stark subsequently bringing baby Thanos home to raise him with Pepper Potts. Aww. Or back to Wakanda, Wong hops in and sends Thanos' army to the mirror dimension. And finally, Thor uses his axe Stormbreaker to chop off Thanos' arm, thus preventing the Mad Titan from using the Infinity Stones to wipe out half of life in the universe. There's lots of chopping of Thanos' arm theories. But hey, they aren't exactly wrong. That would probably work.
Oh, Junior. You're gonna break your old man's heart.
Hero's sacrifice. Another Redditor's alternate ending would have been a lot more wholesome than the original ending, but it's still bittersweet. This theory is based more on real-life facts than taking information from the movie universe. Simply by taking into account what most of the heroes who died in Thanos' snap have future movies confirmed, such as Guardians 3, Spider-Man 2, and Doctor Strange 2, they'll have to be brought back somehow, right? Mattster00 says his theory that some, if not all, of the heroes who lived through the dusting will somehow sacrifice their lives to resurrect those who died, by possibly using the gauntlet or Captain Marvel coming in. Redditor Callie-O put forth his own theory and mentioned that it would have been foolish to kill off Black Panther and Spider-Man after having such great commercial success. They haven't been around long enough to be killed off for good. The second theory suggests that the older Avengers vets who survived the dusting will eventually die to save their comrades.
Take a day. You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here.
Tony Stark dies. This fan theory posted on Reddit by LawNerd14 revolves around Doctor Strange and, of course, Iron Man saving the day, but losing his life in the process. LawNerd14 put his new spin on the ending to Infinity War by suggesting that Doctor Strange looked into the future and saw that the Avengers would need to use the gauntlet to bring everyone back. So he didn't want to play with the space-time continuum or create alternate timelines. Strange foresaw it would need to be Iron Man who wielded the Infinity Gauntlet to save the universe. Thanos previously told Stark that they both share the Curse of Knowledge, which could be the only way to use the gauntlet. This means that Strange knew Stark had to survive so that he could bring everyone back after Thanos' snap with the gauntlet. A massive undo that would actually cost Stark his life. It explains the sadness when he tells Iron Man that this is the only way, because he knows that this path will ultimately lead to Iron Man's death, since he's still a mere mortal. His death would have the largest emotional impact, given his fundamental history with the MCU, and given the reintroduction of Pepper Potts to advance Iron Man's newfound father ambitions. To be extra poetic, Avengers 4 could have Iron Man die in Spider-Man's arms, feeling like he's achieved fatherhood and saved his adopted son. Yeah, this one just got very, very dark. Cue the tears. While Infinity War's ending was tragic, we all pretty much know that something will be done to fix it, so this theory could reset the MCU, while not totally destroying the impact of seeing half our heroes turn to dust. This easily has to be the most emotionally draining alternate ending on this list, but easily the most thought out. Our props to LawNerd14, who's hopefully a lawyer? Probably.
It sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
There you have it. Which ending is your favorite? Do you have an alternate ending that doesn't involve the infamous dusting? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR to stay up to date with all our awesome videos. And if you don't, thanks for watching.